Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We're Baltimore positive. Might sound a little more like KRP here, and I'm going to get my Dr. Johnny Fever going because we're going to do some rock and roll. It is our 28th anniversary. A few pieces of business we're going to be celebrating on Wednesday at Coco's. I will have the Ravens scratch-offs to give away. I am going to be celebrating my reinvention. Baltimore Magazine gave me a Best of Baltimore award, and Ron Cassie and Max Weiss, who are not strangers around here. And I put together all sorts of props. I spent the whole weekend going through all sorts of things in search of my Rush ticket stub from the Capitol Center in 1980. Leonard Raskin's about to join us here. Yeah, and you're not coming out to Coco's on Wednesday. I want to say thanks to GBMC as well as our partners at Farland and Dermer, the Comfort guys, for putting us out on the road. But you've been a long-term sponsor. Last week, I'm at Fishmonger's Daughter, where Damie has finally gotten the Fadley's brand to Catonsville. Dennis Colatzos, who isn't a sponsor anymore because Coons 4 got sold a year and a half ago to out-of-town folks. And so if you know a car dealer, I am in the mood for a car dealer. So, Leonard, if you have one in your Rolex. But also, I had Bill Cole out. I had Farland and Dermer. I had Zach out. I haven't had you out for a crab cake. It just
Been a
feels
while.
but I ran into you and I bought you a vanilla milkshake.
A vanilla shake.
At the hockey rink where the Flyers play, which I know you're allergic to,
Yeah,
in a
it was
general
kind of
sense.
weird being.
But Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson rolled through just 90 minutes, and we mean 90 minutes because we got back in a hurry after the concert on Sunday night. You've waited a while to see Rush. I think you've seen them before.
Yep.
I got to
It
I got to get
was
into the link because we'll talk money and finances and all that. But
sure.
this is what you do when you have
Yes.
176 extra dollars lying
Right.
around
Right.
and you find the tickets on sale on Ticketmaster 3 days before, and really good seats too.
Yeah.
And we had us a little night in Philly on Sunday night, didn't we?
Absolutely. So hanging out at, like you said, Flyer Center. Uh, it was quite the show. I expected a good performance. I did not expect incredible. It was incredible.
It's incredible, isn't it?
The dudes are rocking like I'm 18. Uh, I walked into the.
How can he sound this good?
I don't know. I walked into the arena, and it was. I think everybody there. So I took a survey of the place. I'm looking at the place, and I think it was. You tell me. I think it was 80-20 men to chicks.
More and we walked in the little entrance over on the Broad Street side. I always
Yep.
walk into that
Yep.
building the same way. There's that giant escalator that comes
Yep.
down into that atrium area. And right there, Brian had to pee. I went with Brian Poole, my middle school buddy. I've known Brian since
There you go.
1979. He was gifted and talented. I was a kid from Dundalk. And and John Allen, we all grew up together. Like all my bunkies are my guys 45 years later. We
Right.
went to the moving picture show in May of 1981.
It
Kevin
felt
Eck went with
it
me in
felt
1980.
just like 82, 81. I'm telling you, so as I'm saying, I walked in, I looked around, and I said to myself, here is all the people who wanted to see Rush in 80 but couldn't afford it or didn't go, or maybe some of them did go, but I felt young. I felt young, a young 61, because there were people there older than me watching the show, singing right along.
How many times have you seen Rush?
This is only two.
Oh, you've only seen him one other time.
Yeah,
ever?
this is it. I know you've been
Oh.
like 1,000 times or something.
Well, and that's where this crazy anniversary thing, and you're a sponsor around here, and I made a couple of pretty big sponsor pitches last
It's
week.
unreal.
A friend of mine asked me how many. First off, my friend said, I saw the best concert ever. And I'm like, what? Death Cab for Cutie. And I'm like, okay, I mean, you had a great time. Alan McCallum loves Death Cab for Cutie. And kind of moody, kind of cool. Like I would go see them. It rained like hell the night they were Merriweather.
Yeah,
But
great.
nonetheless, she said to me, but like, what's the best concert you've ever seen? And I'm like, woo, hold on.
Now, there's a
And she's
question.
like, and I'm like, well, I've seen thousands of concerts. That's really hard for me. And she's like, thousands. And I'm
Right.
like, thousands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and it inspired me. And all of this, is there anything like seeing Alex and Getty do this at this level?
It's
The
incredible.
word is inspiring,
It
right?
is unreal. Absolutely.
It
It
is
is.
inspiring.
Yeah, I was watching Alex. It's like he's 20, like 20 something, 30. I mean, these
Well, he
guys,
went to this Austrian health clinic.
these guys are playing. My God, like they're just young. And that's the thing. I don't know. They're what, 75?
I'll get their ages up because I
Yeah.
think Getty's 73. I think I'll look it up, but I wanted to tell you this about the men-women ratio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian had
Yeah.
to pee when we got there because we were boozing in the parking lot,
Yep.
drinking some
Sure.
Moosehead, having some cheesesteaks. And he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, well, the bathroom, the men's room that I know is behind the hockey goal, behind
Yep.
the
Yep.
behind the stage. It's a huge men's room. There's never a line. I'm like, let's just go. He's like, no, we'll go right here. And I looked up. It was one of the little tiny bathrooms right at like the 15-yard line
Yep.
of the hockey
Yep.
rink, red
Sure.
line,
Sure.
blue line.
Sure.
Yeah. So I look, we go in to pee, and I swear to God, we walked in and they were all stalls. There were no urinals.
Right.
There were 10 stalls on the left, 10 stalls on the right. Dudes coming in, tiny little, it's a bathroom behind a regular section, so it's
Okay.
small.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I looked and I went into the stall and did my business and, come out and met Brian outside. I'm like, dude, that's a women's room.
Ah,
They literally
covered
took
it up.
a Velcro sign.
Yep.
I was going to video it. They put a Velcro sign. They closed the women's room
Because
and made it a men's room.
They
So
knew
that's
who was
the
coming.
lead story when you said how
They
many
know
dudes
who's
were
coming.
there. I'm like, in that hockey rink, I know that's not a men's room because I
Right.
walk in there all the time.
Right.
It was a men's room for Rush on Sunday night.
That's something, because it was easily 70, 80%. And I'm thinking to myself, for a minute, I'm just thinking, why is that?
Can you see my stubble like growing in here?
Yeah.
I literally on Sunday, I've been working real hard in my AI and I'm doing this, and I'm going to tell you about my rock and roll thing because I'm really
Yep,
excited about
yep.
it. You sponsor me, and you clearly, the rock and roll bug hit you with Rush. It's hit you with Billy
Yeah.
Joel and Depeche Mode and the things you like. But I didn't shave because I'm like, there aren't going to be girls there to look at me. Who am I shaving for? You know what I mean?
I just was stunned, and the age, of course. Again, as I said, people were. It was like we were all in a time warp. 18.
There was a beautiful 18-year-old female behind me jamming with her dad. They were Hispanic.
Right. It has to be.
And her dad was air drumming, and they looked like they were South American.
There was a gal next to us that had to be there with her father. Same thing. She was screaming and singing along, and I'm thinking, yeah, he plays this in the car, and she gets to listen, so she gets to come.
Man,
but
this girl loved Red Barchetta, and I'm like, I like you.
That's it. But
you like Red Barchetta, we can get on. But we had Beavis and Butthead behind us. We had the two biggest a-holes ever.
Yeah, we had people that were screaming and singing and air guitaring.
I should have moved to my real seats. I mean, there was a point when Brian looked at me and he's like, they're never going to shut up. And they drank more. Oh, my
God.
And, dude, it was
What did you go to the show? What do you go to the show for?
They were tatted up. They were literally like Beavis and Butthead. The one guy knew all the words to the song. The other guy took him, and they had a bromance. And they did the whole I love you, man, all night long. Oh, man, you're having the best time. Yeah, it's awesome seeing you. It's awesome seeing you have this much fun. It's awesome. And meanwhile, Getty's like singing Closer to the Heart.
Right.
And I'm like, shut the up. We had the worst two humans behind us. They were horrific.
You gotta hit them. You gotta just.
They were horrific. Horrific.
Man. Like, what do you go for? Like, the one guy's having a great time. Let him have a great time. Shut up.
Shut up.
No, it was outstanding. They were playing.
If this guy screamed, "This is awesome!" one more time, I know how awesome it is. Shut up.
Right. And drummer girl rocked.
Oh my God. Isn't she something?
She, from the first note to the end of the encore, she worked hard. I think she worked harder than anybody else on the stage. I mean, Getty jumped around a little, certainly moved around a little, but he's strumming and singing. She is working hard from first note to close, and she was incredible. She was really
So
incredible.
anybody listen to this, Leonard Raskin's here. He manages money, including mine and my wife's. You can find him at Raskin Global. We talk about the American dream. This is the Canadian dream.
Yes.
By the way, your boy's going to bomb Canada and run Russia out of the country before it's all over with. But
No, no, no.
let's get into the psychology of this, because I don't want to go through the politics of this, because clearly Getty's on my side. But in a general sense, you're really excited about it. It's the morning after the show. You spent a
Yeah,
couple $100. You
fantastic.
went up. I bought you a milkshake. I had a burger. We had some beers. We had some cheesesteaks. We listened to music. I got to spend an evening. Brian was so excited. My buddy,
Yeah,
from 8th, 7th grade, he was so excited to be there. I know you were excited because I hit you when the tickets dropped.
absolutely.
And you went with your buddy from Wilmington,
Yes,
who's a Baltimore guy, and I met him.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what is it about that experience that would be different? And let's say the cost is the same to go
Yeah,
see
sure, sure.
Ovechkin play
Sure.
Lindros in the same rink. All the milkshakes are the same price. The parking's
Yeah,
40
right,
bucks, the
right.
toll.
Right.
Let's say it's not a playoff game or game 7 of something. Let's just say it's a good Patrick division game. I'm going back
Yeah.
in the way back to
Yeah.
senior, that you would have that experience. And you've had that. I'm assuming you went to games at the
Absolutely.
Spectrum, or I'm
Absolutely.
assuming you saw a concert or 5 at the Spectrum. I saw a
Yep.
lot.
Yep.
I'm going to be going through all of that, because this is where I want to get to the psychologists. It's our 28th anniversary, and on Friday, I'm announcing a big announcement about my music past, because every time I bring up, I showed my belt buckle, my Rush belt buckle that I wore last night, and I did it on the Pacifica belt buckle page where all the belt buckle collectors are,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're like, "You've met Geddy Lee? Oh my God!" And I'm
Right.
like, man, if I just had an autograph from Geddy Lee, it would be interesting to people. Or if
Right.
I talked to him one time or whatever at the buffet at Camden Yards, like, Geddy has been a recurring figure in my life since I've been
Yeah.
15 years old, since I
Yeah.
met him at the Capitol Center, since he called my kitchen in Dundalk where my kid lives, and I talked to him for 30 minutes as a 15-year-old to write a story. Like, I have this lifetime of chasing Rush. My
Yep.
cousin, I took her when she was a young girl in San Diego. She loves Rush, and she's 42 now. Like, I have Rush friendships, travel. I've been at the first show of every tour all century. Like, every time they play, I've been to Tulsa, Manchester, New Hampshire. I've been all over God's green earth chasing Rush. And I'm going to go try to chase them in Brazil.
There you
I know
go.
you're getting together with my wife and talking about our money here this week. So hopefully I have a couple of nickels to rub together to go to Brazil to hear people sing YYZ out loud. But there is something about concerts. And
Yes.
when my friend said to me, how many concerts you've been to? And I said thousands, and like jaw dropped. I'm like, no, really, like really,
Right.
really.
Right.
And with AI and with all my ticket stubs, and how I am, Mary Lou Henner, remembering everything.
Yeah.
I am literally, between now and December, going to be putting together this project to see how many concerts I've been to, how many recollections I have, and I'm going to share them next year, because I'm getting older and people love my stories of rock stars from
Absolutely.
from years past. But
No
the
doubt.
thing about going and seeing Rod Stewart, Rush, Paul McCartney, Bryan Adams is 66. He feels
Yeah,
young,
and
right?
they're not
Pat
they're not
Benatar's
getting any
72
younger,
or whatever.
and they're
Like,
not going to be doing it much longer.
there's something about the joy it brings. I saw you at halftime. You
Yep.
wanted 21-12. They were going to play Moving Pictures.
It's
And then
okay.
they
It
went
was
up and played Moving Pictures. And if
Yeah.
you're a fan of that music,
Oh, it was fantastic.
I can't get that from Adley Rutschman or from
No.
Gunnar Henderson, because Jim
Or
Palmer's
or
not playing
from
anymore,
or even, like you said, you watch I get to see Ovechkin play, but he's still young. It would be like watching Gretzky come out and play a real game. It's ridiculous. It's I mean, my goodness, to see these guys, like I said, it felt like I was 18 and they were maybe 25 or 30, whatever.
So it makes
It,
you feel young again.
oh
That's the
man, it
psychology
absolutely
of it.
it resurrects youth. And I know we went to see Billy Joel last summer before, at M&T, whatever it was, the
It
last when
wasn't
we went.
summer. I wore a jacket. It was the night the Orioles lost the playoff game, and it was
Yeah, so it
3 years
was
ago. But go ahead.
okay. So maybe it was October, whatever.
That just shows you the time goes. It's been
Yes,
3 years.
but
But
my
yes,
point is, if you remember, and I'm sure you do, he got up on stage and like right after he played his opening song or two to get going, he said hello to everybody in Baltimore, and then he said, "I'll never forget it. Don't worry, there's no new music because I ain't doing any. So you all will know everything I'm playing." And it's just so funny to think these guys are out on tour. And it used to be you drop an album and then we all wait to see you because we want to see you. And it was, I think it was 12 or 15 bucks at Heck Company to get general admission tickets to see Ted Nugent at the Capitol Center. And
990,
there you
880,
go.
and 770.
Whatever it was
My early ticket
ridiculous.
stubs.
It was
that.
ridiculous. And now, like you said,
It's a decision. I didn't go
40 years
Friday, not
later,
because I don't love Rush. I
40
didn't go
years
Friday because
later,
it was $250, and it's a
dropping
decision
a couple
to do
hundred
it.
bucks to go to Philly to see a band that when I'm sitting in the crowd, singing along and dancing in the crowd, I feel like I'm 18 watching this show and feels like they're 25 strumming right along.
Dude, me and Brian had like a
they
whole
played,
like,
oh my God, they played exactly like you would expect. And Geddy's voice was phenomenal, sounded exactly as I remember and as I would listen to on now the satellite radio channel or Pandora or wherever. And it just, man, look around and you go, these are my people, and everybody in there 60. And then I tried to figure out, my friend and I, Mike, we went trying to figure out why it was 80-20, male, female in there. You go, well, Geddy's no sex symbol. That's for sure. Even in their heyday, I don't think they were sexy, and their music is not sweet, attractive chick music. It's just not. But
well,
man,
closer
did
to
they
the heart,
rock?
maybe.
Oh, of course, you get one
I'll give
song
you a
in there.
couple
You get
songs.
one or two,
But it's not Open Arms and Journey and Styx and like those bands all mixed through.
Yeah.
And I would say
Yeah,
Rush, Journey, Styx, Foreigner. Rush is Rush. They're completely
That's right.
different. Like
That's
the Grateful
right.
Dead were their own thing that
Yes.
was a little weird as well.
Sure.
But like that classic rock radio and all, I mean, I'm looking at all my belt buckles here. Van Halen,
Yep.
Kiss, Supertramp, Genesis,
There you go.
Austin, The Police, The Cars. I'm just calling it all. How many Queen? How many of these bands get Kansas?
Right.
Kansas and Foreigner don't have any members of the band. Leonard Skinner
No.
don't they're out playing, but they are a cover band. So this,
Right.
by the way,
Right.
Leonard Raskin's here if you listen to the radio.
This is them. And you can obviously you can't replace the drummer. But they did. And she was phenomenal. But you could never, I mean, Geddy's gone, it's over.
Well,
that's
the whole
it.
night is a tribute to Neil.
Right.
I mean,
right. But still,
Geddy got choked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was.
I mean, it's
he was
really
almost
hard
in
for him to
tears.
talk about
Yes,
it.
he was close to tears. And without him, there is no Rush because that voice is so unique, so powerful.
Yeah, you're either Geddy Lee or you're a cover band, which leads me to this. You have not seen the Rolling Stone interview, correct?
No.
Okay.
Correct. No, that is correct.
A couple of little snippets have shown up on my social because my social knows.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing a Geddy Lee Major League Baseball shirt, so I like this one. So I've seen a snippet or three. It came out about a week ago.
Okay.
And it's just Geddy and Alex, very professionally shot. But I saw it was like an hour and 10 minutes.
Right.
It's a really chunky interview. And by the way, shout out if she finds this, Meg Simzik, who is their manager, Meg,
Yep.
who I know. She wrote to me last week on LinkedIn because I've been trying to get Geddy on the show for
awesome.
a while, right?
Awesome.
And Geddy had the project on the baseball book, the project on the bass book, the project on his book, right?
Yeah.
Like My Effing Life, which if you haven't read, the reason I'm holding this up, you really should read this, about his parents and concentration camps and how he got here and his dad.
Absolutely.
It's an unbelievably beautiful read, and it's so Getty.
I mean,
It's funny
them
and it's
even,
self-deprecating,
like you
and
said, them even existing from where they came. The life story
it's
is
miraculous, you know.
unbelievable.
And Alex being
Unbelievable.
Slovakian and
Yes.
Zidavinovich, so all of that aside, the interview, I've seen like little 3-minute clips out of it and a
Yep.
couple of very poignant ones. One was about Annika joining the band and how
Sure.
hard she has to work. The other was about Alex giving up pot. Like
Yeah.
Alex has stopped smoking pot. And the other one was about the pride of wanting to do this well. And when
Yeah.
I saw that one, I got the lump because he's like, Neil never wanted to be seen not at his best to the
Right.
last day he died, that
Mm.
he never wanted to go out and be Willie Mays at the end or be a diminished version or do what Joe Flacco does, which is be the backup quarterback and happily
Right.
do it, or
Right.
and then still can do it when given a chance and
Yep. Yep.
try,
Yep.
or Rod Stewart, which is fine, but it's not great. I mean,
Philip
I saw
Rivers,
Barry Manilow 2 weeks ago, and it's just
not.
like there's a point where like
Step
for
off the
all of
stage.
us,
We need to step off the stage.
right? And I don't know
Yes.
for baseball players and athletes, they throw you out,
Right.
your time, your
Sometimes
measurements.
that's better than your own judgment.
And I
As
saw
we've
Brian
seen.
Adams 2 weeks ago, as good as ever.
Yeah.
Benatar and Giraldo, as good as maybe not as ever, but certainly very appropriate. And I
Yeah.
even say Sammy Hagar is 80 years old, and
Unbelievable.
he is shaking his ass like, and it's very appropriate. He's doing what he can do.
Right.
Is it him in 1991? If you go see how beautiful that band was in that, it's 35 years ago, man.
Right.
Like
Right.
there's a Tokyo video of Van Halen with Sammy that they were sober, and it's
Stunning.
peak unbelievable. But if you spent $200 on Sammy Hagar 8 weeks ago and went down, it was great.
Yeah.
Great by any measurement of Satriani of what they're putting on stage. But there is a bar for all of us. And John
Yes.
Harbaugh always said the bar, and the Ravens are trying to win games, and where the Orioles are as far as where their bar is and how they treat people and whatever. This is a band that I am so proud to be a fan of theirs because of the way they've conducted their lives and the way they are and the respect I have for them. So this interview happens, and I hadn't watched it. I
Yeah.
bought you the milkshake at the Shake Shack at halftime before moving pictures. We got in the car and we're out, and we're going across the bridge where it smells leaving Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
not that all of Philly doesn't smell, but it smells particularly when you're leaving and coming to Philly. And Brian's like, hey, dude, get that interview up. Put it on, man. So I put it on right as we got into like Chester, where little
Right.
houses are, and I popped it on. It was an hour and 10 minutes, and I put it on my phone, and we Bluetoothed it, and I watched it, and he drove, and I catnapped and listened, and he was just listening and driving. It is the most if you love Rush,
Yeah.
read the book, but if you
Right.
love the band and you study even if you don't, I'm a big Rush fan, but I don't
Yeah.
know every nugget of
Right.
I'm not
Sure.
that guy that
Sure.
is into it in that way. I
Right.
like the
Right.
music, and I
Yep.
didn't need. And if Getty came on with me, I'd be prepared to talk baseball, because he's done my show probably 5 times in my life. I've done the
Yeah.
radio show, and we always talk baseball. He would call in every spring. We talk. I have tapes of me and Getty talking baseball. Doesn't
Yep.
make a whole lot of sense because it's not about music. It's about like whether David Wells is going to win 18 games this year. They're
Right.
stupid. That's why I
Right.
don't run them. But there's something about learning more about bands you love, especially when you respect them and they're not drug addicts and they haven't molested children and they haven't beaten their wives and they've lived the kind of life that any of us would be proud of. But what this band is doing right now, and Getty and Alex talking about the pride of what you saw on Sunday night, and where
Yep.
Alex couldn't pick up a guitar neck 3 years ago, and they
Crazy.
were crying and grieving their drummer, and they
Yep.
didn't think they could put this together. And that Dave Grohl thing, and with Taylor Hawkins dying, like leading them back onto a stage where they thought about it again, and then they had to find somebody, and they found this woman that the bass tech knew. Like that's how all this happened. But the fact that Alex can play the songs and Getty can
Right.
sing them, and they can do it at this level is
Was
it's
unbelievable.
worth the hour for you to go listen about
Oh,
how they went to Austria, how
no
they
doubt.
dried out, how they've decided to just they need to be great, and that's what's eating at them is that they want us talking about it the day after and saying that was as good as anything I've ever seen because it's
Right.
remarkable how good it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Again, I'm watching Alex. I'm just thinking to myself, that dude is, his hands are just magical. And it, I don't care, 70 what, still doing it
Leonard, he talked about this
at the
interview was
level.
done after the first
I
four
mean,
shows in LA, right before Getty got sick. So
yep,
this interview was
yep,
done in the middle of June, and Alex said literally the week before the tour, he was sitting on the edge of his bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, still holding his guitar and saying, I don't know if I can do this, man.
right.
Like, I don't know if I can do
Wow,
this.
wow,
And Alex told the story. He's like, and you know what? The night in LA, everybody was nervous, but Alex is the loose guy. He's like, I'm not nervous. I'm good. We came out, Xanadu, the smoke clears, the cage is down. I'm into the song, the cage lifted, and I saw faces. And he's like, I couldn't. He said, I just had to look at the neck of the guitar. I couldn't look up.
right.
And Getty cried on. I'm crying. People are crying in LA. Alex is like, I'm just looking at the neck of the guitar and I'm pretending it's a rehearsal. He said, because I just couldn't, I
Yeah,
couldn't believe I was in it.
it
So
was surreal.
it
It
blew
was
their
surreal.
minds.
Yeah, it was just, that's what I said, it was surreal. It
Well, there's
was
your American dream that I want to go to Brazil and
absolutely,
see them. I want to save money to
absolutely.
do that. But there's something that, um, and this is what I want to write about with the 35th anniversary. There's something about music that sports doesn't do for me now in my
Well,
life.
not only that, not just you. It's so so I'm getting ready for the show because I know I'm going, right? I had tickets, like I said, I had tickets in New York, now Philly, and DC. So I'm going. So I throw on Pandora Rush Radio just to brush up on Rush Up. I'm getting ready. So I got to like hear the tunes in my head. I just got to have that. I don't know if you ever listen to that station, but it's all the rock, right? It's they're playing Supertramp, they're playing Yes, they're playing the
All
Cars,
my belt
they're
buckles.
playing Judas Priest. I mean, I'm going back Kansas. I'm going back through concert history and thinking, "Oh my God, what a show that was!" And I remember
You and I should
who
have bought the Bay.
I went. I'm remembering who I was at the show with, and what was happening there. You know what else was really strange just about the show? I think I smelled more pot walking across the street in downtown Baltimore than I did in the Philly arena the whole night.
I
Like,
told Brian on the way up, all I remember from the Moving Pictures tour in May of '81
I mean,
was
people were
we sat behind
smoking.
Alex. We were behind the stage
Yeah,
in at the Capitol Center,
right,
maybe 15th row, right behind Alex, right behind Neil.
right,
And my memory, I was 12 years old. It was May of 1981. And all I remember about that night was it was just pot all night. I mean, it
right,
was like
right,
literally everybody was toking up.
right.
The whole arena
And
smelled like
and it was
weed.
illegal.
Like literally
It's
the
illegal,
whole
and
arena.
everybody smoking, and nobody cared.
And you know what? I told the story here. Well, I digress here, but I told the story about how we men, penises, males took over the females' bathrooms in
Right,
Philly
right,
Sunday. There was never a Rush concert or a Van Halen concert or Judas Priest concert at the Capitol Center where the chicks didn't come into the men's room and barge in
right.
because
The
like they could get
lines.
to the bathroom quicker
Right.
because the line for the women's room
Yep.
was too
Yep.
long. That
Not
was not the
there.
problem at the Rush
That was
concert.
not
And
the problem.
at
It
this
was not
point,
the
and
problem.
us dudes have to go to the bathroom 5 more times every
Right.
night because we go more often. But
Well,
but
the beauty of the club level was private bathrooms
I
right on the club level
I hooked you up. I put you in the club is what I did.
with no line, right in, right out, all good, except the usher didn't know where Shake Shack
Well,
was.
look, you go to a lot of football games, and I know you're there hoping for a
Yes,
victory, one little victory.
absolutely.
But every time you go to a concert, I'm 3 for 3 with Rush this summer. I went to LA, I went to New York, and I went to Philly, and I won
Yeah.
every night. And
Yeah.
my team
Well,
won,
see,
and the
that's
band
it.
won, and I
There's
feel
no,
good, and I'm here talking about it the next day.
I
Sports
heard,
doesn't provide that certainty, especially if you're
no.
gambling on it.
Oh my God, heavens forbid. I heard the gal who played the lead in Phantom of the Opera. This was a number of years ago, and she talked about how she prepared. And first of all, she talked about how many times she auditioned for the part and didn't get it, and how she just kept going and getting better and learning her craft and getting better. And then she finally got the part. And she said it was just like you were saying, Alex was the night before. The opening day was just overwhelming. And then here's what she said, which just struck me. She said, every time I go out, she said 8 times a week, she's on the stage. And she said every time she goes out, she feels a duty to perform because the person sitting in the audience has never seen the show before. So it's got to be perfect. And then she said, and every time I go out, somebody in the crowd is there for the 100th time. And I can't make a mistake because they'll know it. She said, so every time I go out there, I've got to be perfect. And you think about, like you said, with baseball or any sport, you go, you scream, you enjoy, and the outcome is completely random, unless you think it's fixed, which I don't buy. But completely random, and you never know what you're going to see. But you go to a concert, I show up, get to my seat, lights go down, the band starts, and unless they suck, which these guys clearly didn't, every tune is just like you first heard it. I'm listening. I mean, they threw in a little 2112. They didn't throw in the whole set, but
Well, that's why you can go back in DC and see it.
right,
again.
right. But they threw it in. But every tune was like I just turned on the old record player. That's what we called it back then. Turntable.
It's not that way at a David Lee Roth concert right now, I assure you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they jammed like you were there for the first time or like you were there for the 100th time. And that is magic from
Motley Crue doesn't sound like that right now.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, seriously, Guns N' Roses, I walked out. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, it's really a treat and it's joyful in a way that, and look, I'm not bagging on the Orioles or bagging on the Ravens. We can do that, right? Ryan Loop will break your heart. Lamar hasn't won the Super Bowl that he said he was going to. We've gambled on it. You've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on tickets. You're going to Brazil. Like, I found my old PSL bills when I was shredding stuff the other day around here, getting prepared for you. And, just finding old things that I used to spend money on that I'm like, I don't need a boat anymore. I don't need that golf membership. I don't need that, or, I don't do this anymore, or whatever. Man, concerts, and that's why I'm leaning into this. So you have asked me about the concerts and the music stuff. There are bands I've interviewed and stories I have that you've never heard. So I'm going to tell those stories over the next year and really lean into music. We're still doing sports here. I'm still doing the Ravens. This is just for while I'm still alive.
That's
and
right.
AI can help me. And while it's still interesting to people out there that I can share these pictures, videos, stories, interviews, backstage passes, ticket stubs, autographs.
And if you have an opportunity to grab anybody that's still of sound mind to come on and talk about them.
I've had, Triumph is coming back to Baltimore in November, right? I've had both of those guys on the show this year already. I know them. And so being alive and being and Rick Emmett's another guy that told me 3 years ago, I'm retired. I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
And then they threw a lot of money at him, and that's not who he is. He's not he's like, I don't know that I can do it. Like, I'm going to need some help. We're going to have to get a band together.
Well, Alex has done all kinds of other stuff.
Alex and Rick Emmett are very close.
I mean, he's done all kinds of things. And one of the things, again, about Rush, although they're probably doing okay this time, they're not a money band. It wasn't their thing. I mean, they surely made money.
But they never overcharged. I agree with you. They never felt gougey the way the Eagles or the Rolling Stones or Barbra Streisand would gouge you. Right.
They're not trying to throw up a $2,000 ticket and say to their fans, you can't come.
Yeah, well, it's been, I don't want to say affordable. It's been a $200 kind of get in most of these shows. But I can say this. It's worth it. You know what I mean? If you love Rush, when you spend the money, you just want it to be great. And that's my thing about Getty is when you watch that interview or read his book or touch anything he's ever touched. He has a bar that is just higher. And he says he's Mr. Bossy Pants. He can be difficult. He said his daughter hadn't seen him smile in a year and a half until that night in LA. And
Wow.
he's like, really? And he's like, he's just tunnel vision. He just needs it to be effing awesome. And if it's not going to be awesome, he doesn't want to participate
Doesn't
in it.
want to do it.
And
Well, it was.
it was. It really was.
It really
and that's
was.
inspiring. It's a
And
beautiful
then
thing
get
to
to see
see.
it again.
Tell me what you do, man. You manage money, hopefully at a Getty Lee level. We're hoping.
That's it. We have to be perfect. We are about helping people have the American dream, whatever that is for you, whether it's putting your kids in college, whether it's retired, happy, whether it's a second home, a boat, a car, a show, travel, charity, whatever you care about and want your money to do for you. We help people understand how to use their money in ways they didn't understand to do the things that they didn't know it could do. And we've helped people buy businesses, sell businesses, educate kids and grandkids, and travel the world and have that dream, that American dream that is whatever you put your mind to and have the opportunity to create, you can. I happened to check in just a real quick on Sunday was I don't remember what they called it, but it was Grand Prix 250 in DC. They had a Indy race in DC on the streets of DC. It was fantastic. If you like IndyCar and you didn't see it, pull it up, watch some of it. They were driving past the Capitol. They were flying down the streets of DC. And the one thing I could notice was, how come I only go 10, 12 miles an hour on those streets and they're doing 160 around the turn?
Well, they did that in front of my house downtown.
Yeah, right. So, but one of the guys that's a commentator on Indy, I think he's British. He might be Australian. I'm not really sure. But he talked about during the broadcast how great it is to be in the capital of, I won't get it exactly right. I won't quote him, but he said, of a country that I came to, that I wanted to find the American dream, that I've embraced and that has embraced me and given me the opportunity to do whatever I've wanted in my life. And I don't care what people say about the country, the leadership, the politics. At any given moment, I'm willing to bet if you open the borders everywhere, more people would flood here than just about anywhere else. And that's as good as it gets. And for us, from a financial standpoint, we work with immigrant families. We work with Native families. We work with people that do just that, to put their mind to it and create whatever they want to create. And if you can't do it here, man, you just can't make it. No excuses. You either have results or excuses, and we help people have great results. That's what we're about.
We're trying to do that here as well. It is our 28th anniversary on Friday. We're going to celebrate 28 years of WNST. I'm working on 35 on the radio, so I'm doing a little something special during the holidays. And, you know, something we can't fight about, music, right? Like,
That's
so
right.
Do you have a best concert? If we're having crabs tonight and
Oh,
beer over
yeah.
Costa's, like, what's the
yeah.
best concert you've ever seen? You know, right off the top of your head?
No doubt. So you'll know the exact date. I don't remember the date. Judas Priest, 80s. Rob came out on the Harley, and it was
Was it Civic Center?
no, this was DC.
DC, okay.
DC, and they
like
just
Turbo, was it late 86, 87,
no,
88?
it was before that.
More Screaming for Vengeance.
That's exactly what it was. Screaming for Vengeance. That's exactly it. It was early 80s. Screaming for Vengeance.
So Maiden opened that show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's real early. Okay.
It was insane. It was magnificent. I mean,
and you were 16. It's like
yeah, I was like 18. They're my favorite all time. If they're
Priest
playing, I'm going.
So did you see Priest at the Anthem? I saw Priest in Saxon at Anthem a couple years ago.
I didn't. Depeche Mode is number one. Go see, do all the time. Judas Priest is right there, 1A.
That's a really weird mixed bag, dude.
I know.
And then there's rock. There's that Billy Joel, right?
Absolutely. Well, Billy Joel's just that's teenage nostalgia. That's
but you didn't do that for your wife. You were Billy Joel for you.
No, yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay.
I did Andrea Bocelli for my wife.
Okay, all right. I mean, if I've done the Bare Naked Ladies with my wife.
Yeah,
she likes
Andrea
the chicks,
Bocelli.
Right?
He was very good, but it wouldn't have been a show I would have gone to.
I took my wife to see Kenny Chesney, thinking she'd like it more than me, but we didn't eat. she likes country music more than me. She would
I'm
admit
not a
that, but like
not a fan.
she ain't dragging me to that.
That's my thing. I'm
I
not
mean,
a country, not a rap, not into opera. Those are my three no's.
the Foo Fighters played last week, and tickets were cheap last Monday down in Nats Park. First off, stadium shows are only worth $50, and this was
Right.
a $50 ticket.
Loud.
And John Allen and I were talking about going, and he wanted to see the opening act, Queens of the Stone Age. Who, fine, I know who these
Yeah.
bands are. I'm not a Foo Fighters guy, and I'm
No,
like, and I found that out when it
wouldn't
was a
be.
beautiful night. Tickets were $50. My buddy, I could have taken on my buddy, and I'm like, I
Nah,
just don't. I'm not. I don't hate them, and I
not a
would
thing.
listen, and I guess I would go. I would have gone, but like I like going to shows where like I'm really into it.
Now, you know who surprised
I don't
me?
want to get dragged to a show that I'm not. Like my wife loves Bruno Mars, and I go, and I have a
Yeah,
great time at Bruno
sure.
Mars, but I wouldn't go without her.
No,
I
now you
wouldn't.
know who surprised me? Imagine Dragons
Dragons, okay.
surprised me.
I
Fabulous,
I saw them in Las Vegas one night.
fabulous.
Yeah,
I mean, that's there. That was great, but I wouldn't have gone. It's like it wouldn't be. I got to see them, but it
I've
was.
tripped into a couple of shows like that at festivals, at Super Bowls, and
Yeah,
different
sure,
stuff like
sure.
that. Seeing just more modern bands where I run
Right,
into them,
right,
where I wouldn't be like buying a ticket. Like I
right.
don't know that I would buy a ticket to see Train. I always wind up there
I
because
I
REO
enjoy
Speedway,
him.
but I love Train.
I enjoy him.
I love Train.
He's got a great unique sound, and I hear he bailed out Bon Jovi
He
in New
did bail out
York.
Bon Jovi, and I didn't go to see Bon Jovi because I didn't want. I'll
Right,
end with this. I didn't want to see a diminished version of John. I
right,
love John.
right.
Love John.
That's
I,
it.
and I don't want to be able to sing better than John. If I can sing
Exactly.
better than John,
And
it's
and the
it's not
dude got
John.
up there and bailed him out on stage. He was there in the crowd. He wasn't like a guest or backstage or
Well, I can
anything.
say I saw Triumph this year, and they haven't done it in 40 years, and they were fantastic
There you
because
go.
Phil X, because they
Right.
got help, because they brought Todd in, the bass player from Ozzy's band, and like all of that kind of stuff. So for me, I just want it to be great. I'm willing to pay
Yeah.
for that, and
Yeah.
I'm even willing to pay to see Barry Manilow and Rod Stewart
I'm
and
not.
sort of diminished versions of them. I almost went to see Engelbert Humperdinck, who's
Oh my
almost
God,
90
no.
last year, and I saw the video of it, and it's not great, but it wasn't bad, and I sort
Not
of wish I
not
went.
on my list.
Engelbert and I played tennis together at the Pairing Racket
Oh
Club.
my God.
So I have stories you don't know about,
That's
dude.
insane.
I
I
know
can't wait to
Engelbert.
hear. I can't wait to hear.
You know what his friends call him?
I have
Inch.
Inge.
Inch.
That's funny.
Inch.
Hey, I would have said Bert, but what the hell?
I'll look up his real name for you. His real name, I think, is Arthur. He has
Even
a really
worse.
regular British name.
Right, even worse.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to.
He went
What
with
is Engelbert
Engelbert.
Humperdinck? Engelbert Humperdinck's real
He
name.
went with Engelbert.
I
mean,
think it's.
who staged that one?
Hold on. Engelbert Humperdinck, his real name is Arnold George Dorsey.
Right. And who came up with that thing?
You didn't see the Neil Diamond Broadway show, right?
I did not.
Like,
I did not. I
take
missed
your wife
it.
and see it.
No, they saw it. I was
Did they
other
rave about
occupied. They thought it was great.
The Neil Diamond thing
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Yeah,
But
excellent.
there's a whole point, and it's a biopic about his
Yes,
life.
yes.
The whole point is he comes in and he says his name's Neil Diamond,
Right.
and they're like, we got to fix that. And
Right.
he's like, my name's Neil
No.
Diamond.
Right.
And it sounds like a fake name, but it's
Yeah.
like apparently his name.
Freddie
So
Mercury.
there you go.
That's my name now.
Geddy Lee's real name?
Geddy Lee.
No.
No?
Gary Lee Weinrib.
There you go.
His mother
Yes.
had the Yiddish. She
Yes.
survived Auschwitz in the
Yep.
concentration
Yep.
camp.
Yep.
And when she was in Toronto, Gary, come inside, Gary.
And that's
She
when he
couldn't say
came.
Gary,
Right.
but she
And
named
there
him
he
Gary.
was.
And his
That's
middle name isn't really
Lee.
Lee. His mother misnamed him. It's in the first chapter. There's why you want
Awesome.
to read the book. There you
Awesome.
go. This is Geddy
Good
Lee's
stuff.
effing life. I'm going to do my effing music life beginning on Friday.
It's gonna be fun.
He's Leonard Raskin. He will help you get your effing life together. So it's not your effing life. So it's your effing freedom. The F will be
Amen.
freedom in there.
Amen.
The American Dream and Leonard Raskin, Raskin Global. Hey, it's good seeing you. And
Pleasure.
it was fun to watch you enjoy that. I think your milkshake was better than my burger. I'm just being honest.
It's probably true.
Dude, we went to this dairy place in Wilmington, and I had the largest dipped butterscotch cone. I'm going to put the picture of this up. And
Oh,
we
jeez.
got it, and it started to melt like a volcano.
Oh,
It was hilarious. Like it was the best $12 I've ever spent trying to eat these dipped cones in the
before they
sun on a 90-degree
before it
day.
wiped out on your hand.
Dude, there was a puddle underneath of us of ice cream. It was hilarious, man. The only thing would have been worse is like seeing grandkids do it and just get destroyed because it was
Everywhere.
sticky too.
Oh,
Of butterscotch and
there you
of
go.
honeydew and the milk of paradise. He's
Amen.
Leonard. I'm Nestor. Go see Rush. We're Baltimore positive.